Hi, this is Brave Day Trazorwolf, and let me show you my work in progress of making my own version of Vayeate. This is based from the Gundam Wing under the codename Azure Cyclops. This is my own version of Vayeate. So if you want to see how I recycled the model from the Tolgis model, and I reuse it for the Vayeate. Now I check the preview here on making the cannon, and I add a custom bone joint. This one looks resembling like a bigger robotic arm. That way, because of the black and white, the forearm ground part. See, I'm checking here to see if the bone work correctly. Even the this is the generator. In the original Vayeate, it has a backlight turtle shell and it opens. This one, it's like a side view. Okay, now proceeding on making the rigging to animate the body. So we'll see you in a minute. I'm back here now. I'm now it's all rigged up already. So I'm gonna have to start focusing the pose for the Vayeate. So I'm gonna prefer to call it as a Cyclops because Cyclops is a one-eyed giant. Probably that's because most of the most of Army of Leo has a squarish eye. Probably that's probably it. So you can see the finalized version of this Vayeate. You can check on my FB page here, or you can also check on my in the description on how I took my progress. Only screenshot how I make the robot. Now, so you can see here, starting to add some rotation for the head. So I'm planning carefully. Will be the first two parts here, focusing on the camera for the head, imposing the starting dominance when a threat is detected, and charging off a cannon. You can see here, like in original Vayeate, they open the hatch. So when a Vayeate is in space, the generator of the cannon open the hatch to give a cooling power because the space is made of vacuum, so cold. In this version here, probably I give a little cool gimmick here, open in sideways, giving a powerful aircon power inside, and at the same time they make a static charge to gain extra power. So took a long bit here to think what to do next. So I'm switching between the bones here, but before that I have to unhide. I have to hide all of the extra parts here. The previous parts I made for the Tung Tung Sahor, Copycat Gundam, Gun Dynamite, and also for the clone version of the gun cannon, so that once if I render here, rendering the video, there will be no extras, only the Vite body. Okay, took a skirt off, the pants. I add some extra large jetpack on the side of the legs. It is intended to give an extra support to reduce the recoil for the weight of the back. Probably, but it could also add as a stabilizer when walking on the ground, as good as I imagine. I'm no technical expert on machinery, but trying to understand what the preference and the story behind the preference here. Probably inspired from the exoskeleton suit, similar to Iron Man, and kind of also similar to the Asim's legs. So I'm figuring out the pose for the legs here. So what will we look like? So we're gonna move like this, and then take it like that. So I'm not gonna put some visual effects at the end. So I'm focusing on how to deal the attack pose when a mobile suit using a giant cannon. So I take on a different angle here. I'm gonna make sure that he's getting the right pose. Sorry for the cannon aiming. So I have to play around like I'm playing an action figure to gather idea how it turned out to be. And I have a render system here on the left side to see what it looks like if it's when the video is being exported like that. If you're wondering about the white tube here, I don't know. It doesn't look like it brings missile. Probably it's an extra fuel or something, or an extension for the generator. Some other robot using that white long sausage to give an additional power boost for the thrusters. Probably. Could be either way. Now, I'm gonna touch the hands here and enjoy the rest of the video clip while relaxing. So, some saying that when you do animation, especially if you're in free time, as long as you're aligned with this hobby, believes to be quite therapeutic. It's as therapeutic as when you make drawing on the sketches. You let your mind unwind, let your imagination do the talk, no restrictions, no deadline, no revision, just you, yourself, and your creativity. Excuse me for a second, I'm not doing some hand job here. I'm trying to adjust the handle, the hand that fits to the handle. See the right position, so don't get me wrong about here. In the next vlog video, I'll let you show about my behind the scene animation for Mercurius clone under the name Crimson Azure. So you'll be wondering why I have a wide shoulder. Probably it's like a symbolic aesthetic for the twins, just like in the original Gundam Wing. I have some purple horns here. This will ignite a powerful flame when this mobile suit ignites with deep rage when the cannon is fully fired, ready to kick some butt. I've also figured out about the lighting here. I don't know what will turn out to be. So yeah, so keep observing and see for yourself. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you for a few more minutes after this, and I'll show you how to make some effects for the laser and fire. But there are two ways here. Either you're gonna have to do it by manual, or you're gonna have to use some controversial tools like the AI. But you're asking, AI sucks. It does do nothing. It makes detrimental to natural talent for 3D artists. Let's put it this way. We all want to find a way to make it easier. But if you're gonna want to compete with the modern times, you may keep the traditional way. We all know that the art in any form video made by a heart, made by an artist, it defines the heart and soul of each masterpiece that tells a story. AI is just a copycat. It only imitates without soul, without guide, unless there's guidance. So, in order to keep that pace, I really want to preserve my natural work. I only use the AI for only limited amount of time because I'm freaking lazy about making the effects. Oh, kinda too bright though. Maybe I need some little adjustment for the boot up part scene. You may also create visual effects for the laser using Blender. As long as you have a library of effects, there's a lot of good resources here on YouTube. So make a compilation library of mecha parts and the visual effects. That will be it. Or you may also try to do some AI, but you have to be cautious about here. Do not worry about the copyright as long as you do not put your image as your reference, because some other AI company tries to compile your work. The only thing that matters if one person knows about is your work, most likely will follow you. Maybe let the people judge and believe in yourself. That's about it. If you Maybe if you can make them convinced that this is your original work, only just 10% AI or best zero, but that depends on the situation. In creativity, you have to done by hand. Never be a lazy creative artist unless you want to do something what comes to your imagination. And when you have drive for creativity and you feel like you want to work more that aligns your passion, then using with Blender is enough. And using the visual effects for shortcut will be minimal. Maybe I'm gonna have to put this way later on after I make some adjustment. Anyway, enjoy the rest here, and I'm gonna tell you something about how I make the visual effects two ways, and I'm gonna say some thoughts about it. You see the screenshot over here? Look carefully. Here is the correct arms and the legs and the detail of this mobile suit I created. And this is the laser cannon fire. There's the handle here, but in the AI generated version, where is it? Maybe this one? Yeah, there's a temp attack. Here's the misinterpretation from the AI. There is no additional thing that looks like a oversized scope. The cannon battery is correct, but it a little bit, but the part here is a little altered. The legs are correct, but the shoulder from the left is deformed. This one looks like a skull, and the head part is way too different compared to this. I'll open for a bit. So here's the original pose, like that, in the rendered view. This one is the preview, this one's the rendered, and this one is in-game edit, more like in a 3D edit. Excuse me for a sec. This is what the shoulder looks like from my 3D render here. As you can see, it's all wireframe in a uniform manner. This is what the shoulder looks like. The AI is supposed to render exactly the same from its form, but compared to this, wait a minute, this is the original one that took from a screenshot. This is the original from a different view, and this one from the AI version. As you can see, compared to this, you can see the grayish purple light. This one shouldn't flat like that, and the head part and the chest looks way a bit different. So what I'm gonna do now is I'll make a different approach. There are two ways. You can add a VFX for the laser beam manually from the blender, and then you copy paste it directly to the barrel. Kind of similar to this, but it might take a little time to load here since due to the system. Or you can edit by a Photoshop and add laser effects. Let me add this. You're gonna take this sample here. It's a little different from the lighting. So taking for the sample here, press OK, adjust opacity, choose the right brush that works for you, and then do it like this. Looks like a freaking flashlight though, but it will take a little adjustment. And then you're gonna put it on Grok. And then you're gonna put it on Grok here. Here, as you can see, it's not exactly correct. So I'm gonna have to put it on Grok directly here after you edited the picture, and then see what will happen. Let's finalize this shit. So it's simple. For the laser beam here, either you're gonna create it in Blender, straightforward, with some knowledge in VFX, that's the best option here, or you can do this lazy way. Photoshop the beam, save it as a PNG file, and then export it with Grok. But a little tricky here is to cast the right spell, aka the prompt. You gotta have to make sure that the AI completely understands that. Tell the AI not to move the cam too much and retain the form. The best part here in AI is to use the image screenshot as a reference so that the AI won't alter much, but you still need some assistance from your prompting or adjectives to keep the image consistent. Now, let's gonna finalize this and I'll see you for a while.